Pain and Glory. Spanish author Pedro Almodovar's new film stars Antonio Banderas as a fading filmmaker who reflects back on his life during a time of crisis. Now, the character Banderas plays looks back at key markers in his life, like his childhood in the 60s or the time he moved with his parents to a village in Valencia in search of a better life. His first stirrings of desire while growing up in Madrid in the 80s, the pain of that breakup, turning to writing as the only therapy, his subsequent discovery of cinema, and the void that has stopped him from continuing to make films.
Si no escribes ni ruedas, ¿qué vas a hacer?
Vivir, supongo.
This ruminative drama won Banderas Best Actor at the Cannes Film Festival for what many critics have described as his career best performance, playing reportedly a thinly disguised version of Almodovar himself.
Buen viaje. Muchas gracias por venir, de verdad.
The Souvenir. British veteran Joanna Hogg's new film tells the story of a shy but ambitious film student who begins to find her voice as an artist while navigating a turbulent courtship with a charismatic but untrustworthy man.
Very special, Judy.
I don't think I am.
Oh, no,
Starring Honor Swinton Byrne and Tilda Swinton in one of those art imitates life scenarios as mother and daughter, the film follows the younger girl as she defies her protective mother and concerned friends while slipping deeper and deeper into an intense, emotionally fraught relationship that nearly destroys her dreams.
Don't lie, Anthony.
Now singled out by critics as pointedly personal art that somehow manages in its specificity to hit on something universal, the film, which won the Grand Jury Prize at the Sundance Film Festival, is said to be closely based on the filmmaker's own experiences during her youth.
It's terribly complicated.
But you're a thief! Anthony, you stole my stuff!
Memory, The Origins of Alien. After his deep dive into the making of the famous shower scene from Psycho, which led to the insightful documentary 78 by 52, filmmaker Alexandre Philippe turned his gaze to the origin story of Ridley Scott's horror sci-fi masterpiece Alien, and specifically to the chest-bursting scene that ended with the demise of John Hurt's character. Now, the result is a thorough study of the various influences that inspired this seminal hit, from Greek and Egyptian mythology, underground comic books, and the works of many famous artists. This documentary includes original story notes, rejected designs and storyboards, and never before seen behind-the-scenes footage of Alien. It's a cinephile's dream.
All this innards of a cow and the blood.
That was Ridley wanting this to connect to the phobias that come from our ancient past.
Varda by Agnes. This documentary by the late Agnes Varda offers insights into the legend's own oeuvre, using excerpts from her work to illustrate her artistic visions and ideas. Although anointed with the intimidating title of the grandmother of the French New Wave, her work has been surprisingly accessible and characterized by her interest in the margins of society and female subjectivity. Divided into two parts, the first focuses on her analog period, from 1954 to the year 2000, as the young woman who sets out to reinvent cinema. The second part, which looks at the period from the years 2000 to 2018, shows how she used digital technology to start a new life as a visual artist.
C'est que j'ai les yeux curieux.
Best known for her films, specially revered titles like Vagabond and The Gleaners and I, through which she has said she strived for an understanding of society and humanity, Varda was famously not a film buff when she started out, but said she used the camera to connect with the kind of people one doesn't know so well. This documentary is a portrait of the artist in her own words and pictures.
Le fait, rien n'est banal si on a d'abord de l'empathie, de l'amour pour les gens qu'on filme.
What She Said, The Art of Pauline Kael. Now, pioneering American film critic Pauline Kael, who championed Scorsese, inspired Tarantino, and wielded influence over everyone from Orson Welles to Spielberg, is the subject of documentarian Rob Garver's fascinating film, which looks at Kael's career from its earliest stages. Of course, it highlights her legendary review of Bonnie and Clyde, her adoration of the works of such rising star filmmakers as Brian De Palma and Martin Scorsese, and the staggering influence she's had on modern film criticism. But it also, through conversations with her daughter Gina James, looks at the hard parts of her life, from financial instability to the unpopularity, to Cale's unpopularity among some of her contemporaries.
People really don't know what they believe in anymore.
But what's especially riveting are the old interviews with Cale herself, who describes her craft in some detail. In other places, actress Sarah Jessica Parker lends her voice to reading out Cale's quotes and her writing.
People always say, now you have opportunities, couldn't you produce or do something? Yes, I could, and I don't want to.
It's important to note that before social media became a thing, and before critics appeared on television using their thumbs as markers to signify the merits and weaknesses of films, it was Cale's essays in The New Yorker that could make or break a film by her mere turn of phrase.
We grew up reading Pauline Kael.
She's never said a good thing about me yet, but she's probably the most qualified critic in the world.